What's up, y'all? Welcome back. So today was supposed to be a proper play and chat. I was going to play Paladins again, and I was going to play some different champions, and I literally tried for 3 hours yesterday to film this video, and everything that was going wrong could go wrong, possibly did. The game kept crashing. I was having technical difficulties. It was just a disaster. So at the end of the day, I realized what I had to say today was more important than what you were seeing on the screen, because this pertains completely to the blind community and not necessarily just the gamer community. So if you are not interested in Sims content, you can literally just put this down and listen to it like it were a podcast or something. I did create a little story that goes with this build. I do have some information on this build. So if you are interested in the Sims content, the information on the build and the little story that goes with it will be in the description box below that you can go read if you'd like. This is my first full Sims build from scratch. I have not done any full from scratch builds. So if this is terrible, sorry about it. Anyhow, I wanted to talk about something today that I feel is really important and it's not discussed enough. And that is depression, mental illness, but specifically depression in the blindness and low vision communities. I was reading some statistics online, and apparently from the numbers I saw, 6% of the population is diagnosed with depression. And that's a pretty low number, but I feel like it's more prevalent in society because of the whole breaking the stigma movement. But when you think about those numbers and then you read our numbers, people with visual impairments have a rate of 10% of depression diagnosed. I mean, that still seems pretty low, but if you compare those two numbers, we're almost twice as likely as the general population to have depression. And it's not a shocking thing, it's not a surprising thing, but it is very sad and very distressing, obviously, because we're dealing with something so inherently difficult that most of society can't even fathom. And yeah, obviously we have depression. And I'm one of those people. I was diagnosed with severe clinical depression last year related to my vision loss. So when it comes to me personally, I mean, my vision loss diagnosis broke me. When I tell y'all it broke me, it broke me. And I'm a tough one. I have been through some ish in my life that a lot of people have really been shocked about. And those things didn't break me, but this did. When I got my diagnosis, I was initially misdiagnosed with a different disorder that has treatments available. So I wasn't that worried about it because I have multiple chronic illnesses. I'm no stranger to going to doctors. I'm no stranger to medical appointments and procedures and just living in a doctor's office. That's something that's very normal to me. So when they told me I had this eye disorder, but it had treatment, I was like, whatever, it's got treatment. Like, cool, whatever, we'll just do what I've been doing for 5 years. And then I found out that I was misdiagnosed because the first ophthalmologist who diagnosed me was kind of a crack and completely an ass. So because he was a jerk, I actually asked for a different referral purely because I didn't want to work with him. And when I went and saw the different ophthalmologist, that was when I found out he'd misdiagnosed me. And this guy wanted to feed me full of prednisone in order to treat something I didn't have. So after I went to the second ophthalmologist, it was actually 2 ophthalmologists in one office I saw with like a combined 50 years of experience. And this was at the University of Washington, if you're familiar with that space. But they told me I had Stargardt disease, and I had never heard of it in my life. And I was like, what is that? And they told me that my retinas were messed up, essentially. And I said, okay, well, what do we do? And they said nothing. And I'm like, what do you mean nothing? Like, obviously there's something, right? There has to be something. And they said, no, there is no treatment. There is no cure. There are clinical trials, but I mean, even I could tell they sounded a little bit sketchy. And I know there are people that go for them, but for me, as someone who has existing health problems, it wasn't a viable option. And they said, you're going to continue to lose your vision, and we don't know at what rate. You're currently 2200, you're currently legally blind, and it will get worse. And I had gone from, in 4 years, not even having glasses my entire life, at the age of around 24 was when I first got my glasses for reading, to 4 years later being told, you have this retinal disease and you're going blind and you better get used to it. That was horrifying. That was so devastating. I held it together in the office because I hate crying in front of people. And I held it together in the office, and I got to my car and I just sobbed uncontrollably. I could not believe what I had just been told. How was I going to continue my life? How was I going to keep driving? How was I going to have a job? How was I going to keep playing video games? How was I going to do all of these things that I was used to doing? I have all these dreams of I really want to go to Scotland and go sightseeing. How am I going to go to Scotland and see all these things if I'm going blind? And admittedly, at the time, I didn't have the knowledge of Stargardt disease that I do now. And from what I now understand, a very minute amount of the population goes severely blind with Stargardt disease. Stargardt disease, for those that don't know, mainly affects your center vision. So your center vision will have a blind spot varying in size and severity, and you're usually maintain your peripheral vision. My blind spot at the present moment can vary depending on the day. It looks like when you get your picture taken with a camera with a flash on and you see that white sort of space in your vision and you can kind of see through it and there's sort of like colors involved. That's what I see all the time, and it can vary in severity depending on the day, how tired I am, how fatigued my eyes are, if it's bright and sunny out, if the snow kills me every time because it's too bright. So I didn't have the knowledge I did, but those were still all fears that I held as even though I continued to learn about the disease. Is how am I going to continue to have this as part of my life? I don't understand. How am I going to survive this? And I've gotten a lot better. I've learned a lot of ways of how to adapt. I've also learned that this world is not set up to be an accessible space for people with visual disabilities or disabilities in general. This world is not set up to handle people like us. This world is not designed for us. And that is something that's a big struggle when you go through your whole life as a sighted person and then you have that taken away from you. You then have to figure out how to adapt and how to continue to do things that you did in your daily life. And it usually will always be little things that get me. Like, I can't read the cooking instructions on a package of something. And then I either have to ask my husband for help or I've got to go find my phone, get my magnifying glass, zoom it in. I mean, reading books is a whole other thing. I rely pretty heavily on Audible now, and I can do some Kindle books where I can enlarge the font, but even that starts to fatigue my eyes after a while. So when I tried to continue my education in school, it then became an issue of finding accessibility in a home-based schooling program online and how I was going to do those things. These are the little things every day that just mess with you, and they just make you feel like less, and they just make you feel like you're losing your battle. And I had gone back to therapy at this point because I recognized that I was struggling. And that was when I was diagnosed with severe clinical depression. And it was really validating to see it on paper because I felt like I was feeling these things, but I didn't know if anybody else noticed them. And when I started telling her about my struggles and I went through a few appointments, it apparently became increasingly clear to her the amount of struggle I was dealing with. And I found a lot of solace in the blind community, in people who had more experience than me and knew how to navigate the world better, in people who had the same amount of experience as me and understood where I currently was in my struggle. I found a lot of solace in Molly Burke's videos on YouTube, which if you're not familiar with her, she's a blind YouTuber and she talks a lot about her struggles with mental illness and depression and blindness and her story. And I absolutely recommend her channel. She's also adorable and hysterical and I adore her. I will link her channel somewhere. I found solace in her videos. I found solace in my blind gaming group on Facebook, making friends with other people who were also gamers who had visual impairments. And none of these things are a cure, but they all help you get through it. And they all help you understand the major message that I want to put forth today. And that is, if you are struggling with depression or mental illness, anxiety, whatever the case may be for you, no matter how alone you feel in your daily life, because trust me, I feel alone a lot of the time. I live on a little farm in the middle of nowhere. I don't really leave my house. I don't really leave my little town. It can feel very isolating. Just know you are not alone. You're not in this by yourself. There are people out there who care and who want to see you succeed. I want to see you succeed. More than anything, I want to see this community thrive, and I want to see our mental illnesses taken seriously and validated, and I want to see us get the help that we need. So if you're listening to this today and you've been struggling, just know that I get you. I understand. I've been there. I'm there right now. I'm there every day of my life. Depression from something as major as losing one of your massive senses doesn't just go away. It's not something you just wake up one day and decide, I'm cured. That's not how mental illness works. But every day can get a little bit easier. and every day can have good in it. And every day might not be good, but every day can have good in it. And that is something that I try to carry through my daily life, even on my worst days, is just understanding that how I'm feeling right now is how I'm feeling right now. And my feelings are valid and my struggles are valid, but tomorrow can be a better day. So I really wanted to push that message forth to you guys today. I am going to put some resources for some different mental illness and depression organizations that you can reach out to if you are in a space where you would like to talk to someone or you would like to know an organization to reach out to. I will put all that information in the description box below. Also, you know what? If you need a friend, you can contact me, reach out to me. All of my social media information will also be in the description box below. You can follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. My DMs are open. I do not have my DMs shut off. So if you want to talk to someone else who gets it, feel free to reach out to me. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not at my phone 24/7. Like I said, I live on a farm, so I'm kind of off doing other stuff a lot of the times. But I will get back to you and I will talk to you. And I just want you guys to know that. Know that there is someone out there who cares. I care. And I know there are other people who care too. So I want you guys to go forth and try and have a good day. Try and find some good in this day. Know, again, for the 1,000th time, I will forever repeat this, you are not alone. Take care of yourself. Drink some water. Stay hydrated. Get some sleep, talk to a friend, watch some vines that make you happy, make you smile. Do something for yourself. Don't forget your self-care. Above all else, remember your self-care. Trust me. So this was just something I wanted to put out today to you all. I hope you found some value in it. If you did, please put a thumbs up on this video. It really helps out small creators like me. If you would like to hang out when I'm actually gaming, you can subscribe. And next week, we're going to have an accessibility spotlight for a game that really nailed it when it comes to visual accessibility. So I'm really excited to do that video. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye, guys.